go on.
Arnab, what I want to say is that, geopolitically speaking, the world has never been more on edge after the Second World War. See, the Russia-Ukraine war is not ending anytime soon, Arnab. Point number one. Point number two, there is intense talk of decoupling with China, which will take a couple of decades. There's talk of de-dollarization. The recession is hitting the Western world very hard. And today the West, including the United States of America, which leads the West, believes that if there is any country that can actually counter China in the long run, it is India and nobody else. That is also why India is important. Economy, definitely, Arnab. That is point number one. And you cannot dispute the economic part of it. But the fact of the matter is that if there is any country in the world that can stare at China, has the willingness to fight China, has fought China in the Himalayas, had fought China everywhere and countered China, with varying degrees of success, I may add, it is India. And which is why today the Americans are welcoming Prime Minister Modi as a representative of 140 crore Indians, and they know the power of this nation, and they know there is intense, mutual respect among the two leaders. And this is something that Prime Minister Modi also mentioned. There is intense trust. There is this thing, and always one thing. Again, I repeat, it's always the leadership of the country.
We got
when
another
Indira Gandhi led India to the 1970s.
Okay, those are pictures of the Prime Minister meeting, and let's see if we get any nats on that. Okay. Louder, please. Okay, these are visuals. Yeah, we'll cut to the DD audio, please, for a minute.
समुदाय के लोग वहां पर मौजूद हैं, कई सारे लोग वो प्रधानमंत्री का वहां पर स्वागत कर रहे हैं। अशोक श्रीवास्तव हमारे साथ बने हुए हैं, उनसे हम बातचीत कर रहे थे, लेकिन उस बातचीत को हम आगे बढ़ाएं, उसके बाद उससे पहले एक बार हम पिनाक रंजन चक्रवर्ती के पास चलना चाहेंगे।
Coming in right now, live pictures of the Prime Minister meeting some members of the Indian community. That's and he's going to be meeting many more. He's taking selfies. There he is shaking hands. Meeting several members of the community. We have Indian community. We have many members of the Dawoodi Bohra community also there, I can see. And they're all saying Modi, this is at the airport. So a lot of support for the Prime Minister of India. And very interesting trip. We have 3 days lined up out there. Lot of excitement among people holding the tricolour and waiting for the Prime Minister to speak to them. Gaurav, I'm sorry, please do continue. Yes.
So, Arnab, essentially what I'm trying to say here is, any country is recognized by the leadership. Today, the power of Prime Minister Modi is he leads 140 crore Indians. You cannot take away Prime Minister Modi from 140 crore Indians because it is those very Indians who put him in parliament, who made him the Prime Minister of this country.
Correct.
So to say that it does not matter, of course it matters, number one. Number two, the gentleman from the Congress was saying that, in the past this has happened. Who do you remember as Prime Minister when the 1971 war happened? You remember Prime Minister Indira Gandhi? Who do you remember as the Chief of Army Staff? It was General Sam Manekshaw. It is always the leadership that counts. So you can't say that 1971 war, Indira Gandhi was responsible, but now the Prime Minister Modi is not responsible. And it could have happened either way. You can't have it both ways.
No,
the leader has to be given his due. You have to give the leader his due. And today, Prime Minister Modi is the leader of India.
And he has taken significant risks, which other leaders have not taken, in steering his foreign policy in many contrarian directions and winning. These are realities.
Absolutely. He took a risk on Ukraine, Arnab. He took a risk on Ukraine.
And
everybody said he took a big risk on Ukraine. Ukraine, India's stand is, manifests the fact that why India's strategic autonomy is respected today. Even the US says that yes, there are disagreements. They'll continue as mature friends, continue to argue and talk about it. The Prime Minister and President Biden, when they sit for a private dinner, a lot of things will be discussed.